Go to the other line and speak to the Honorable Mintah Akandoh, who is the MP for Joaboso. He was a member of the minority team or caucus that visited the premises of the buffer stock company where the protesters were picketing and sleeping. Good evening, sir. Welcome to Eyewitness News. Why was it so necessary for the minority to go to the premises of the buffer stock, company to engage with the protesters when the minister had spoken to them last night and they appeared to have agreed with the suggestions he made to them or the assurances he gave to them?
The first and foremost, let me say good evening and make the point that we don't work under the minister responsible for agriculture. And to also state that the arrogant posture of the minister today when we visited the protesters was highly unacceptable, unwarranted. And I think that it is becoming unbecoming of him. The earlier he put an end to that kind of behavior, the better it will be for him. What really happened today was that this issue of picketing was raised on the floor of Parliament. Are you hearing me? This issue was raised on the floor of Parliament today during proceedings. And therefore, Mr. Speaker directed that the ministers involved must be programmed to appear on the floor of the House next week. So the ministers involved are the minister responsible for Agric, minister responsible for education, and minister responsible for finance. Now, as a responsible minority and any member of parliament, you need to have first-hand information before you can ask the relevant questions. And so when we heard that they were picketing at the buffer stock company, as videos and pictures have gone viral, we took the opportunity to show concern and also to have first-hand information. And when we got there, we didn't stop at them. We thought it wise to engage the leadership of buffer stock company. When we inquired about the CEO, they said the CEO had traveled. So we engaged the second in command. In the process of engaging the second in command, then the minister responsible for Agric appeared from nowhere and started speaking anyhow. Okay, I thought that the most responsible thing to have done as his colleagues is to have called us aside and then probably judge with us before even to engage the press. But immediately he appeared, he started speaking anyhow and attacking the minority leader.
Well, I don't know about attack. What I heard in that clip was he asking, what the business was and all of that. But
how can you access our business as members of parliament who play oversight responsibility?
No, but he ought to know why you were there, because according to him, he had spoken with them last night. He had given them timelines, assured them that from the 17th, payment will be made. And when he was going home, he passed there again, and there was really nobody apart from two people. And so it was quite surprising to him that after speaking to them, here they were again with you, wailing, crying, and you with cameras and media people following you, engaging them. He thought it was quite, dramatic and theatrical.
That is left to him. I cannot enter his head and then determine what should be shocked to him and what not should be shocked to him. In any case, when we went there, the women told us that not until they get their money, they were not going anywhere. Even as I speak to you, after leaving the police, they are still there. I don't know about, the issue of addressing them and agreeing that they were leaving the premises and all that. But let me go ahead and explain the issues to you. So after engaging them, we came to engage the protesters and listen to their side of the story carefully. What they say is that government owes them over a year. Now, they organized themselves to go and meet the minister responsible for education. Minister responsible for education says that he was shocked that they have not been paid. And so, right in front of them, he called the CEO of Buffer Stock. He couldn't get him. that he told them that more than 90% of the money had been paid. When they followed up the next time to the CEO of Buffer Stock, he said that they were having some loans in their books, so they had used that money to defray those loans. This, what I'm telling you, I mean, your rests were there. You have the recording, okay? And that, apart from even what they are owing them, they have sidelined them and engaged a different group of people, and now they are paying those group of people in advance. In fact, they pay them before they even supply. So they now have money to pay others, and they owe them, and they are not paying. And as you rightly indicated, they owe them in excess of 200 million Ghana cedis. And when we inquired how many people were involved, they said about 200. It means that on average, they owe each person about 1 million. If your mother or your sister who has gone for a loan, okay, look at the inflation in this country. Look at the depreciation of the cedi. And then over a year, you are not paying the person. And then you come and say that you will determine when to pay and that I have spoken to them. I have solved the problem. Is that the solution of the problem?
The
solution of the problem is giving them the money.
Government owes quite a number of people. So government owing, actually, I'm not sure is the problem. And he's a new minister. Okay, if I could just finish. He's a new minister, and he says that he has engaged with them. He's provided them a roadmap that come on the 17th of this month, he's going to begin disbursement to them. That is quite some roadmap they can work with. Is that not the case?
So as far as you are concerned, there's nothing wrong with government owing somebody and, engaging another group with the same, a contract and paying that person or group of people in advance. There's nothing wrong with it.
No, that's their claim, and he couldn't. He couldn't.
The minister was there. He couldn't rebut it. The deputy CEO was there. They couldn't rebut. And you expect me not to believe that? You expect me, and when you even ask the minister, didn't you listen to his answer? He said they don't have monopoly over that business.
Which is true.
That was the responsible answer he gave you.
But that's a fact, is it not? And he says they don't deal with groups; they deal with individuals.
Then pay them those that you owe. The responsible thing to do is to clear your debt. If you have money to pay in advance, that's the most responsible thing to do. Okay, so where did we err? That as members of parliament who even approve the budget, who place oversight responsibility over the executive, will go to people for first-hand information. Have we committed any crime for doing that? Have we committed any crime for going to people and Brian will determine when and where we should go? My God. Is that what democracy means?
Well, democracy means you're able to express yourself and others to are able to express themselves. But I think your point is well made. Thank you so much. Yes.
You see, I like what is going on because at the end of the day, we must have solutions to the problem.
And he said the solution existed before, so it wasn't their protest that is bringing the solution. The solution is existed before, and he had been engaging the appropriate quarters to make money available, and that will happen from the 17th. So that existed before.
That I cannot take that to be true because they themselves even told us that because of the ticketing, they had called for emergency board meeting and what have you. And as far as the deputy CEO was concerned, he even didn't know. He himself didn't know when the money was going to be paid. Only for the minister to come and tell you on air that they had that plan already. He himself, the deputy CEO, when we engaged him at the premises, he didn't know when that money could be paid. So for a minister to appear, and you see, don't forget that I've already told you that the Ministry of Education claims that they have even paid the money to the Buffer Stock Company Limited. So
I see.
Please, we are all stakeholders of in this governance, and therefore we think that the right things must be done.
Very well.
Arrogance don't solve problems. Disrespect doesn't add up to competence. We must respect each other. That kind of display of arrogance will not help anybody. And
Very well.
Serve this notice. We will not tolerate that from Brian any longer.
Thank you so much, the Honourable. Thank you so much, the Honourable Mintah Akandoh, Member of Parliament for Joabos and one of the minority MPs who visited the suppliers at the Buffer Stock Company.